friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome if you're new. Welcome to my messy desk. All right, we're back. I have a project I want to work on and I don't know where this is going. Let me just give that as the warning. But I'm struggling, as always, with my desk and organizing things. And I thought I saw a video and I wish, well, I might be able to find it. And it's not exactly what I'm going to do, but it was a preemptive maybe idea, like, right, plant the seed video. And so I thought I'd give it a try. So let me tell you where my brain is at a little bit. I have a little bit of time, which is always a dangerous thing because I feel a little pressured. Okay. I have multiple boxes on my desk that look like this. This is actually a clean off the desk box where I go like this and put stuff on here. So, some beautiful scraps, all this kind of stuff. So I don't know what to do with this essentially. Okay. Is one. Two, I am going to make another file, work on my smush papers a little bit. Okay. We made a lot of these on video together. So I do have a place for dyed papers. Now, what I don't have a place for is like stamps. And we had done some videos like getting out stamps and I still have some out. I want to use them. Here are the examples of some of these. Okay. Now this may not necessarily work for what I want to do today, but let's just play for a minute. Okay. So I had stamped kind of on anything. And this is what I tend to do. I just have kind of a stamp session, if you will. I get out some stamps. I use all sorts of different papers. So this is out of a Hobonichi. This is old magazine pages, whatever it is, right? And stamp on it. And then it's ready to go. So I use it because I'm not going to go necessarily into my stash, find my pig stamp, get it out for one day, stamp it one time. Like it works for me to have a few out and ready to go, much like, with our other things. So if I have some sheets, like already kind of stamped and ready, it tends to work for me, but this doesn't work for me, like this pile of stuff. So I thought, what does work for me? How does my brain work? Well, my brain works. Isn't that adorable? Holy cow. That's stunning. We'll put that in the basket. It won't go in the smush paper. Look at the tissue paper though. Yum, yum, yum. So see, we did all this and I'm going to do some more today, but before I go today, I thought I better figure out what I'm doing. Now this is going to go not with stamped papers, but with smushed colored papers, because this I consider more of a background. Okay. So this I have a place for it. It is how my brain works and it is where I would look for it. So that seems to be a working system right now for me. So we're going to leave this as a system. This is snippet tape, which I have a place for. So that's also good. Excuse me as I reach behind us. Okay. So, I mean, look at this yumminess though. Like I guess it goes with dyed paper. I don't know where little bits like this go, but for right now, they're going in the dyed paper. Same with all this. I'm not even going to organize it by size or anything right now. I'm just going to put it. Now, here's an interesting one. I think this is more stamp than paper because I would probably, well, I might use that as a whole page. I mean, I tend to think of that as kind of like I would take this as a whole page and maybe glue it down, maybe make a pocket or a tag or something, but I would kind of use the whole thing as opposed to only wanting to cut this out. That being said, I cut out the stamp out of the corner all the time, right? Now this I would put with paper because again, I would probably cut it and I would use this whole thing as like, right, kind of a paper. So that's just kind of how my brain is working right now. First decision. All right, the rest of this we have to make some life decisions about, but that is not today's video. All right, this is all file. This is backgrounds I've made. Okay, so all of this is just literally deal with it later, Allison. Deal with it later, as usual. We are back to the regular scheduled show. So these I'm going to put in dyed paper. This as well, because again, I have the place, I know where it is, and that is where I would look for it. Okay, let's talk about stamps though, because that's what has my brain going this morning. And I want to do more stamping. Like I said, I have some stamp sets out. I went to use a stamp today, and I'm annoyed that like I'm using it one time and putting it away. Like that annoys me. So I am a vertical file person. Like if I had these all like in a file folder, that may work for my brain. Let me show you an example. Don't even know what this is because it's not labeled and it's over here with my junk journal. But I keep a lot of things in file folders like this. And this happens to be a specific planner that I had. Don't know why I have any. Anyway, so I keep things in here. So this would be one option, is to like have a file folder, have it over here in my file system, and then be able to pull it out and kind of look through, right? Like the papers would go in like this and we would kind of pull it out. This is how I keep all my printables. Okay. Now that's definitely an option and we may go back to it. We may end up with this as an option. Okay. But my thought today was a little different. My thought today was the other thing, like what's super usable, and that is some sort of book. That's some sort of book. And I have plenty. I have plenty to choose from. So, okay, first off, this is just a super old journal. I bought it at the dollar spot at Target years ago. I've showed it to you. I was going to use it as a journal. I have not. I've ended up just watercoloring it. And now I can rip pages out and use them. And so I thought, well, that would be an idea, right? Is to make like a book of stamps, if you will. I love this book. I actually love just like crinkling through it. It's literally just watercolor on paper. Cheap watercolors. You can feel it. Like cheap watercolors. I think like at some point I had thought maybe I'll just use this as a journal, and that just hasn't been what's happening. And so I pull pages. Now we could go in and stamp on all of this and use it, right? So see, I've pulled out pages here. Okay, so that's one idea, is like use a book and stamp in it. That's one idea. Let me move this. Here's another page that I'll just move these off to the side for 1 second. Literally don't even have a space to move stuff off to the side. Okay, let's do sit stay. Okay. So one idea is use an existing blank book and stamp in it and use it that way. That would work. And this size, I love the size, but that's not maybe an option today. This is the other thing. I made this years ago as well. I keep refilling it. This is just I don't even know what it was. I literally don't know what this was. Some sort of little planner holder thing. I put a book in here. This is what it was. I got it at the thrift store, like a quarter or 50 cents. It's some sort of holder thing. Yeah, right? And I just, this is a headband from the dollar store. It's a little big because the book's not super fat right now, but it doesn't matter. And I made these were like flow books, if you will. This was just a little travel journal thing. I grabbed some papers, I shoved them in there. So when this goes in my travel box, if I journal, I just have it, and you could use it as, backgrounds or whatever you want it. Okay. I mean, that's stinking cute. This one I folded up and made a pocket, obviously. So it's just a flow book, but see, it's completely usable. You just take the stuff out as you need it. Okay, look at this beautiful piece of background paper in there that I made. Just ready to be used. So that was the idea. What if we just make a flow book of stamps? And then we can just add to it, and I don't know. See, I have this little notebook in here. This is like a blank notebook. We could just stamp on here and they're ready to go. So this could be both. Like if we used this thing, literally this book, and make some sort of flow book, right? So that's where my brain's going. That's the idea. So then it's like, well, what do we have to use? What do we house it in? What are the options? Okay. So I went to my drawer and I have these options very quickly at first grab. These are all the same. Okay. These are, Recollections brand from Michaels, Traveler's Notebooks, right? Where you would put a book in here. I used to carry my journal in these. I love this size. This is a true A5, A5, yeah. That's 8.5 by 6. That's, I guess, not A5. Anyway, 8.5 by 6. So that's one option, because what we could do then is just first of all, we would fold some papers. We'd have to find some papers. We got to start with something, but any size at this point fits, right? And if I were going to do it from the beginning, I would go ahead and fold them and I would maybe stamp around it, but we don't have to. This is totally usable, right? And we would make kind of like a flow book, but for stamps. And then we would have it, and then we could just come in here and cut out stamps as we need them. And then we could organize it either by paper size or whatever. I don't know, different paper. It doesn't matter. We don't have to use all 4 of them, obviously, but it would loosely be in a book like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? So as we cut the papers, let's say I do come in here and use a stamp. It would look maybe something more like this as we cut things out, right? Or this one already has things cut out. So it would just become, fluffy. I don't know, but you could still use it, right? I mean, like you could still find your stamps. And if this becomes too small or I use this whole side, we can refold it and use this side, or we can take just this half. Like if it is a smaller piece, maybe. I don't even have a smaller piece, but you know what I'm saying. If it is just a smaller piece, then maybe we just tuck them in here. And no, that's what we have left on that piece. What do you guys think? Like I said, these are all the same. They're exact same size. They're just different colors. Literally, like this was my my more serious brown, right? And this one I absolutely loved. But you can see it's not like high quality. This, you can see it's like wearing off. Oh yeah, look. What fun. I still have pockets in here and everything. Maybe we'll just use this one. Ooh. I do love this one. This one is the same, what? Group? I don't even know. They did a couple different, and then this is a plain green one, matches, right? So that's one option, and that's one size. We could just refill this little thing, but if we do that, things like these pieces of paper are not going to fit in here, which is fine. We can start with this in mind and just cut our papers down a little bit so they all go in here. And maybe that's easier because it's smaller. Okay. So we just have to make some life decisions, as always, you know, and it's not forever and it doesn't matter. And if something works or doesn't work, we'll adjust. All right. So that's those sizes. Now, I also have this little traveler's notebook. Now, this one's interesting because this is from, I think this is from the Dollar Tree. But same idea, right? And we could even use one of these little books and, stamp in here. Now, I'm not a big fan of always using lined paper, but we got to use it for something. So, but same idea. just a different, and you know it's in my favorite shade. So, yeah. I'm leaning away from this because for two reasons. One, we're getting smaller and smaller. Two, like this size, at least if I use this thing, I have a little bit of playroom here. I have a pocket, and I'm actually thinking of cutting down this pocket. It's sewn all the way to the edge, and we could just snip it down and cut it a little bit lower so it showed a little bit more. So that's my thought on that. But anyway, this is an easy little traveler's notebook idea. So that's one idea. I do, of course, have trash that we could easily make. This is kind of when I grabbed this the other day and we didn't use it. I thought, oh, maybe this would be what I would use it for. But I don't, I want to refold this so badly. This wide spine kills me. But I'm not in the mood. I don't think we need to make a journal for this out of that. I just don't feel like that's what we need to do. Okay, so then we're also looking at other little notebooks. Like, do we just start with a notebook? Or, you know, if we are using one of these, we could include a notebook in here. This is a different brand. It does not matter. And then we would have a book to stamp in if we didn't have paper, or if we wanted to just put some in here to have. Now, this is very nice paper, and it is graph, so I didn't choose the lined one. There's a possibility I would use this as a monthly is what I'm saying. So I don't know if I need to use it for stamps necessarily, but I grabbed it because it's an idea. Okay, here's another one. This is a Webster's page. This is Carpe Diem. This is a Webster's Pages. I'm almost sure. Yep, Webster's Pages. Now this is a different grid. This is more narrow. This is the traditional traveler's notebook size. Yeah. But again, you know, we could pop it in here. It doesn't matter. We could pop it in one of these and have it and stamp on it. Again, I'm just hoarding. Don't even listen to me. You know, it's nice graph paper. And so I'm like, would I use it for a monthly? Now, this is Michael's brand, the cheap ones. I got these for $1. I grabbed them out of their clearance bin a while back. I have used these as my monthly journals, as my creative daily journal. I've actually just used these. I'm like looking up above me for when that was. It was a while ago, but this is definitely an option. This is actually, I don't know, maybe easier paper to stamp on for me, just because it's not quite as defined in design. So it's just like it is still a little dot grid, but it's very open and easy to do other stuff on. So I'm more open, I think, to use this than one of these right now. Plus it was $1. And if I screw it up or whatever, you know what I mean? If I don't like it, I don't care. I'll rip it up and can always use it. So I'm tempted to use something like this. Okay. And then we always have this little ditty. So this is my old Hobonichi, obviously 2021, that I never used. Like, I never used. So I started to mess around a little bit with it, never fell in love with it. And I don't know what I did with this one, to be honest. I think I bought the next, I don't even know. It doesn't matter. This is 2021. And yeah, there it is. So my point being, I have all this beautiful paper, Tomoe River paper in the back here. So this is all stampable and usable as well. So I tend to not, I'm not going to use this, but I do love the cover. I will use this for something somehow. I don't know what. Okay, so that one's going out the door. Okay, I am just drawn. A lot of times I talk and I just say like, oh gosh, it feels so good in my hand. I like this. I do. I'm not in love with just the black. I got to be honest with you. There is a high probability at some point that, well, let's just cut it to start with. So I'm happier. There's a high probability at some point that I'll just paint this little, isn't she amazing? that I'm going to maybe paint it or do something with it. Again, it was $1 at the thrift store, so it doesn't really matter. And no, I'm not measuring this. Nope, don't even care. Literally don't care. So now that gives us a little bit more room to see that something's in there. Okay, so that, even that alone makes me happier. All right, there it is. So I'm going to leave this as a little flow book with a little notebook in the back. Yeah, we're going to leave it. And I think what we'll do, and I'll just put it back where it goes, I think what we'll do is we'll start with this size. Again, if I don't like this size, it's all changeable, folks. It's all changeable. I'm also not going to use this one that I absolutely love with all the painted paper in it. And I'll just promise myself that I'll use the paper. Yeah, I think I was going to use it as a journal, and I tried. You can see the paper just completely ripped out, and so I tried to washi it on, and then I've gone back in and just like ripped out pages. But I mean, you can just see here, the whole thing's lifting out. So the paper is completely usable. Here's all the washi holding it together. So this cover, though, feels cool. I really like that. But we're going to put it back in the painted paper pile. Okay, so let's use this one. It hasn't been used in a while. It's nice and worn in. Ooh, it already has a magical clip on it right here that does not go here anymore. And it goes, I think, in my new little container boxes over here. See that? See that little trash? All of that's a trash holder. Okay, so I think let's try this. Now, I already like it. It has a pocket here, again, for smaller, right? If we want to put small stuff in. I do think I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so then we're also not going to use this little dollar store goodie, okay? Away with you. Now, so I do think I'm going to use this. My brain wants this in the front, I think. Who knows? My eye and brain also somehow wants to organize these by size. So I think, you know, we did use some size. Now this is not a stamped paper. That's a background. This, we gotta decide. Now, I don't know what we do when we get down to one word. This is a whole nother issue. But see this? I'm going to fold it. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to fold it this way. Yeah. And these fold this way. So this actually would go maybe with this pile. I mean, they're not going to be exact, and that's okay. But see this fun music paper, and we just cut it in half. So it will now fold like this. And again, if we want to use, it's, you know, we're going to have to cut it out, but that's okay. But I think it's going to work for storage. So this is a different paper. This is Tomoe River paper. Okay. So there's those. This is also Tomoe River paper. So we'll just fold. I am not separating like those are botanicals and these are line drawings. I'm not doing that. I'm separating for right now by page size. And we'll see if it works, right? That's all we can do. We'll try it. So I think, I mean, most of these are this size. This seems to be the biggest. Yeah, kind of the same. Perfect. Okay, so right now that's all of these. This, I mean, I know your eye wants to fold it this way, but I just feel like the thicker part of the paper goes this way, so I don't care if there's a fold in the middle of one of those. We'll deal with it. It's all fine. This is a blank piece of paper that is just naked and needs some stamps. Naked paper. All right. And again, yeah, they're not all going to be perfect. So I think now this little one I feel like might go in the front just because she's kind of by herself. Here's a fold. My naked paper is jumping around going like, please use me. Here is one word. So we have to decide kind of what to do with that. So let's play a little bit. I'm going to just, my brain just works this way. I'm going to put kind of the biggest ones. It has 4 signatures in it. Or 4 bands. I'm going to put the biggest one here. Now this is a little bit big see it ripping the paper already? Do I have you in frame? Yeah. It's ripping the paper a little bit right there. I could cut it a little bit if we want to, if that. Okay. So that one would kind of go in there like that. And then we have a bunch that are kind of this size. And we can put those here. And then we have, now I don't know, you guys, I don't know if this is going to work, but at least we are trying a new idea and kind of, yeah? We'll try it. This is a little big as well. It's not wanting to. Okay, so there we have that. Here's some smaller ones. So, and again, this might get too fat or too much. We can add it. We can separate them a little bit. We can put them on the other page. It does not matter. It's just an idea. So far, yeah. So far we have this. Now, do I need this in the front? I absolutely do not. It's actually very heavy in the front, so that's interesting. And some of these are a little tighter than others. I obviously used, I think, only 2 of them with my books, and so they're stretched out more than the others. You can add new bands. I got these on clearance, so I don't remember even how much I paid for the whole thing, but. And I only have 1 piece of the bigger paper in here, so we'll put that on number 3. And I don't even know if we need this book, but for whatever reason, I'm kind of drawn. Now, we could pop it in. Does it fit in? Whoops. Does it fit in the back? Kind of. Not really. The pocket kind of is shorter than the actual book. And so we could do something like that. I don't know why I want the book in there. I don't know. But for right now, I like it. So we're going to leave it. And this, so then this is where we're at. That's what that looks like. Okay. We have some of our smaller papers in the front. This sort of thing, I do think I'm going to tuck into the front, although it has enough to hang on right here. We could do that. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. We may not fall in love with this idea. Get it? Fall in love. This is the part where I don't know what to do. So we're going to have words like this and this. Now, this little one, we could absolutely fold. It would sit in here. It would fold into the book and sit certainly in a middle page somewhere. No problem. And we can absolutely do that for right now. That's completely fine. She would, however, be able to kind of sit up front also, kind of like that, if we want. So we could try that. It's these I don't know what to do with. Now, we do have a pocket in the back, so we could stick some, and it's transparent. So we could stick some in there. Obviously, they could get lost, and then you have to stick your hand in here and it gets stuck and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. This is another, questionable. I could fold it very easily and, leave it in here. No problem. maybe not very questionable, but this is like one word. So I think for now we'll try it. Here's my other thought though. I do have these paper clips already in here. They kind of went, these are from the dollar store, I know, and they're like so cheap and whatever, but we could kind of paper clip them together. And then that would allow a little bit easier of a grab, you know, to pull them out of the back. And we don't have too many, obviously. So here's another like little camera. It came out super light. But that would be another kind of example. We could even clip it on the front like that. That might be kind of cute. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, like, see all these little things? The other thing we could do is take this out and make some sort of envelope, right? That could go in here. We could put some clear plastic sleeves in here too. And like make a sandwich, right? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? See my plastic sleeves? Do those fit in here? Maybe not. Not quite. Well, they actually would. We would tape two together and then we could use them, right? We could even cut the front a little bit. Not sure what we want to do. So I think for now, you know, I'm going to try this idea. Now I'm going to get out some more paper and some more stamps and bring you along for some more stamping. All right, here's another little page of those things that I stamped. And I have a whole bunch of little border strips right here. Here's another one. And so I just think if they're kind of all in one place, all my pre-stamped things, then I will be more likely to grab them and use them. That makes sense, right? But see this little thing, I'm going to throw this one out. But if I weren't going to throw it out, it would get lost. There's no way I'm going to find this on my desk, literally. So I'm going to try my new stamp book. My only thought with my brain right now, my only thought is like, do I want this? And then do I want to make like something that goes on like a label that says stamps, right? Or am I just going to remember, like, I mean, I'm going to remember, but like, do I want it labeled is the question. But I'm not drawn to the green and pink right now, as you can imagine, even though it's March. And I think I'm going to try this. So let's do it. Let's just try it. We're going to try it. And you know, we could make, I love the flow books. When we were all making those, it was just so much fun. So I think I might make another flow book here coming up soon. We might, because I'm just looking also, like a lot of these things, like this would go into a flow book. So this was obviously an envelope from a card someone got me. I put a punch. This is the sort of thing that makes sense to just have in a little notebook where you could pull a piece of paper, and it's just so easy to plug things into a flow book like that and you know, be done. So that's kind of the idea on that. But for now, we're going to use this. Let's get some more stamps out. I'm going to get out paper and some stamps and just play, and we'll add them back into the book. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope you're having a great day. How do you store your stamp stuff? Like, do you stamp ahead of time? And if so, what do you do with them? How do you store them? And again, this may not be how my brain finds things most easily. It may go back into a file folder, but I thought it was a good idea and fun. And I think we'll give it a try. All right. So that's it for me, you guys. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. If you're new and new to my channel, if you like what you see, hit the like button, hit subscribe. I come back with a variety of things for journaling. So super glad you're here. And I love all of you in this community so very much. So I appreciate all of you. And please let me know if you have other ideas. I'm super wanting to get a hold of like organization for this. So let me know. All right. Have a great day. And I hope you find something today that inspires you. Take care. Bye.